What's up, you guys? My name is Eshi.
And I'm Chumley.
And today we are super excited to show you the Lindley, the newest luxury high-rise apartment to open in downtown San Diego. This building is on Columbia Street between West Ash and West A Street, and it's technically in the core Columbia district of downtown, but its claim to fame is that it is 3 blocks away from the heart of Little Italy. It opened this fall with its first round of move-ins this past November, and its second round of move-ins for the higher floors are going to be in January. It's still under construction in some areas, as you will see throughout the tour, but I wanted you to see it because, spoiler alert, it may have captured my #1 spot in my top 5 apartment buildings in all of San Diego. And stay tuned till the end because you might see a moving series from us in the next year. You'll have to wait and find out. We'll start off by showing you the apartments themselves, and then we'll show you the amenities that the Lindley has to offer, and then we'll give you our overall thoughts. Starting off with the northeast facing 2-bedroom, 2-bathroom. Right off the bat, one of the things that I noticed about all of the apartments is that the storage is kind of amazing. They have built-in storage. They have a built-in seating area at the front, I think with at least all of the 2-bedroom layouts, where you can sit down, take your shoes off, put your shoes on, and I think that's huge. I don't think I've seen any other apartments in downtown do this.
I really liked it as well, but another thing to note that this is the guest bedroom, and as you'll see, there is no formal closet where there's like a door or something. There's just that larger cabinet that you saw when you walked in.
But it does have like a railing inside to hang your clothes. It's just not like a standard closet. The bathrooms are, again, pretty standard, I think, for some of the luxury apartments. It has some storage to the side of the toilets, which I think comes in like most of these layouts.
And as you can see here, this is actually the darker color scheme because there are 2 main color schemes, the dark one and the light one.
With the darker color scheme, what that really means is that there's gray tiling in the bathrooms. I think the floors are a little bit darker, and then the lighter wood cabinets are more cool toned, I think is what they said. With the lighter ones, which you'll see soon, it's going to be warmer toned cabinets and a little bit lighter beige tiles in the bathroom.
The living room area is pretty large, but honestly this balcony is wild. It's a corner balcony, and all of the units, all of this type of unit all the way up the stack have the similar layout for the balcony. It's very pretty.
Yeah, it's like a wraparound balcony, which I think is really nice. I would say the depth of the balcony is still a little bit smaller than the Diego where we currently live, but because it's wraparound, it's still very, very large. You can see a little bit of the harbor when you look towards the west, but really it's mostly city views, so if you like that, this might be the layout for you. Also, keeping in mind, because this is north-facing, it's a little bit less light than south-facing apartments, but again, it's San Diego, you're gonna get plenty of light regardless.
Both of the bathrooms here have a single sink, and then the closet is on the other side of the bathroom. So you have to walk through your bathroom to get into your walk-in closet, which I'm not the biggest fan of. And as you can probably see here in a second, the bathroom on the primary bedroom actually has a sliding door, like a barn-style door. Some of them have the standard door, some of them have a sliding door.
And if you have a preference between barn doors and regular doors, I just double check on the layout that you're looking at to make sure you get the one that you want. But in terms of the kitchen, I think it's a great space. They have islands in a lot of the layouts. Not all of them, but in a lot of the 2-bedroom layouts, they do have islands, which gives you that extra counter space.
And according to our leasing agent, this is one of the last buildings that was actually permitted to have gas stoves built in to the unit. I'm a huge fan of gas stoves, so this is probably going to be one of the final ones that we'll be able to actually move into.
Overall, I think great first impressions for the 2-bedroom layouts and a lot of the storage that they've built into these apartments. Moving on to the second 2-bedroom layout, that is the northwest facing view. Again, you're going to see similar things here where there is a lot of built-in storage. Now, this is the smallest square footage for a 2-bedroom layout, with it being 1,012 square feet. It's smaller than our current 2-bedroom, so it is something to think about. But I honestly think that it's really great that in the guest bedroom, they have this built-in desk. And I've seen that for a lot of their 2-bedroom layouts where the guest bedroom has a built-in desk somewhere in the space. And again, like Chumley mentioned before, there's not like a standard closet with doors that open out, but the set of cabinets that they do have has a railing in it so you can hang your clothes in there.
Another thing to note is that these are lighter tiles, so this is the lighter color scheme unit.
I honestly don't know that I have a preference, but I think Chumley's...
I definitely do.
Yeah, he liked the gray tiles, whereas I didn't mind the beige tiles as much. I actually liked both. And every apartment we went to, I just kept opening the cabinets because I was so astounded at how many spaces that they had for storage. I think this is one of the reasons why I kind of fell in love with the Lindley. It's just built-in storage is huge. And again, with the backsplash, I think actually both the darker and the lighter color schemes have the white subway tiles as backsplashes, if I remember correctly. So again, with this kitchen, there is an island, which is great.
Another wraparound balcony.
Another wraparound balcony, yes. I think the north-facing 2-bedroom layouts have the biggest balconies in general, so definitely something to note. And this view is pretty nice. I mean, you can see the full harbor. You can see Coronado Island. It also wraps around so that you can see Balboa and some more of like the city view as well. So if you don't mind that this is north facing, so maybe a little bit less sunlight, a little bit cooler tones during the day, you would get a really nice like west facing like sunset view with this balcony and with this apartment. So if that's what you're looking for, I feel like this floor plan might be really, really nice.
Another thing about the Lindley, as was with the West, I believe the Simone and a few others, it has floor outlets, which is awesome.
Honestly, I love the harbor view. You can actually see like the Star of India, the old looking ship. You can see all of the fancy yachts coming in. So I just think that's really cool. And then you also have in the primary bedroom, you have the bathroom connected, a standing shower, I believe is the standard for the primary bathroom. Again, you can see like the beige tile, so maybe you prefer one over the other, the gray or the beige. And then another con, I think, for me is that a lot of these apartments, these luxury apartment buildings have the closets, like you mentioned, through the bathroom. And I don't know, I don't get it. Maybe one of you guys, if you understand why it's always like that, please comment down below, because I really don't understand why you'd want to walk in with your wet towels into the closet. I don't know. The laundry here, every single unit has laundry in unit. They're, upgraded appliances. They look great.
And it seems like a lot of the space that they actually took out from the units is from the living room versus the bedroom areas, which is actually very nice, because while the living room there, it was noticeably smaller, it didn't seem to take away from the bedrooms themselves.
And then moving on to the south-facing 2-bedroom layout. So this one happens to be the southwest layout. Again, it has that entry storage. It has a place to sit down and take your shoes off. I just love that so much. And then you walk down the hallway to the guest bathroom, the guest bedroom, and then to the living room. So I actually think that this is my favorite floor plan, and you'll see why in just a second, because when you're washing your hands casually in the kitchen, you can just look into the harbor and see like the most beautiful view of the harbor, of the airport, of all of the airplanes landing and taking off. I don't think that I've seen any other view like this in all of downtown so far.
Yeah, I agree. It's amazing. Again, this comes with the height, specifically at least the airport, where you're able to clear some of the buildings. But as our leasing agent was also telling us, she's like, this would be the ideal spot to just cook food, do groceries, just relax. I mean, when I'm cooking, I would love to just look outside and see planes landing. That's so cool.
And you can see Coronado Island, again with the wraparound balcony, but the south-facing balconies are actually like shorter in terms of depth than the north-facing balconies. I did notice that. So although it is the same length, it is significantly shorter. So something to take note. Smaller balconies in general for the south-facing apartments. And then going into the primary bedroom. So this is south facing, so you are going to get a lot of light in the primary bedroom. This just happened to have barn doors. I actually prefer regular doors, especially when it comes to a door to the bathroom, so I would look out for that. But it has edge-lit mirrors,
which are awesome. Very cool.
Yeah, very cool. And in general, I mean, yeah, no complaints with these bathrooms. I also do like that the closet systems have like cubbies, as opposed to some places like the West that we just toured. I'll leave a link to that right here. They just had like railings instead of cubbies as well. So I prefer closet systems that also have places where you can put folded clothing.
And to your earlier point, Ashley, there is a small desk on this little cabinet system as well.
Yeah, it really helps with like the office layout if you have that. If you want to make that like a makeup area, I think that would be great. I'm definitely looking for a makeup area.
Oh, and this is very cool. There's 2 doors to the guest bathroom. So you can enter straight from the hallway or right from the room.
And there's just so much storage in that guest bathroom too. Like the drawer system, it's just really big. So you can keep a lot of supplies in there.
Look how much nicer the dark colors are on that backsplash.
And then in terms of storage, again, you can see it. So next to the laundry, there is a whole stack of cabinets.
Those are deep.
They are so deep. And then there's another cabinet system right next to it. And it's just like, I can only imagine the beautifully organized cabinets I would have at this place.
They also had a smart thermostat. I was just trying to figure out which one, but it's an LG unit. I'm not sure if it's like app controllable or if you could replace it with a Nest, but smart thermostats, great. Love to see it.
And then this is the last 2-bedroom floor plan. It is the southeast facing floor plan. It is also the largest floor plan, but you will soon see why we actually didn't love this one as much as the southwest facing one. But starting off, same guest bathroom, similar guest bedroom. Again, it is a larger square footage, so I feel like the rooms themselves are a little bit bigger. The living room is a little bit bigger. Southeast is also my favorite view and orientation for an apartment, just because you get the south, sunlight during the day, and then you get the morning light, which I really like. This one also has that built-in desk, this time just in the corner, and then you have the cabinets with the railings on one side.
So much shelves.
So many shelves. And then going into the living room, the views once again are gorgeous. You do get a little bit more of a city view, but you can see Coronado, you can see the water. The kitchen has an island, so you can make that the dining space very easily. But then moving over to the actual living room area where you'd have your couch set up, you can see that there is a large cement pillar, and we will actually talk about this in just a second. The balcony space, again, because it's a south-facing balcony, for some reason is a little bit shallower in depth, but it is still a wraparound balcony, so I think that's still pretty great. It's just not as deep, so you just have to be careful with the furniture that you're able to place outside. You can see the huge cruise ships that come in, which I think is kind of cool because they're so big. And then going back to this big cement pillar, it's definitely it's a structural need for this layout, I guess. And I'm glad that this is the biggest layout so that it's not obstructing as much square footage, but it does make it really annoying to configure your couch and your chairs and your TV so that when you're sitting on your couch, the TV isn't obstructed. But it's just really annoying, and that's why I prefer the southwest facing apartment instead, because it doesn't have that pillar in the middle of your TV setup. There are definitely creative ways that people have made a pillar in the middle of the room look cool. I've seen people put peel and stick tile all over the pillar, which I thought about. That would be cool. There's definitely ways around it. I just prefer when there's not something obstructing your TV view. Maybe that's just me.
That's a fairly large mirror.
The mirror here is actually, very big, and also something I realized is that most of these layouts also have a medicine cabinet, mirror opening situation on the side of the bathroom, which again, the Lindley, the biggest pro I think to the Lindley is that they do storage right. They make this feel like a home in terms of how much storage there really is. It doesn't feel like a rental apartment. It feels like a home in that way. So again, biggest layout here, biggest square footage, but I think I just prefer the southwest one instead, just because of that big column. There's no way to get around that big column. So the Lindley has 2 different levels of amenities. This is the level 7 amenities. So when you walk out, there is just a lounge space.
Which is very, very pretty.
Yeah, the designer did a great job. And then I think the other pro to the Lindley really is just all of their amenities. I mean, they have a lot of great amenities. So right here, you'll see the meditation / massage rooms. They said they're gonna probably bring in some tables and massage chairs here where you can rent massages, you can hire out your massages. We just saw the hydro massage chair, which is already in there, and you can, use that, which I think is really cool. I don't think I've seen any other apartment building have a hydro massage. And then of course, for Chumley, because he loves his sauna, we have a sauna and cold plunge.
Which I would not use, my God.
In the gym space, there is a Pilates studio, which is really cool. I mean, I know Pilates is the latest craze, so I don't think any other apartment building in downtown has a Pilates studio, so that's really cool.
They also have filtered water, not only here in the gym, but actually throughout the building, including your faucets and your taps, which is absolutely massive for us.
They also have a yoga and spin studio. We aren't sure if they're gonna put in more bikes here. I guess they're still working on putting more equipment in here. We're not sure exactly what the final product is going to be, but so far there is a lot of equipment in there. I think it's a fairly standard gym. There's, nothing crazy about it, but it has a lot of equipment. They're still working on the outdoor fitness area as well, but there will be one eventually.
The gym also has hot towels, and they'd mentioned that they might actually bring in drinks and things like that as well and just place them in the gym for residents to take when they're in the gym, which is kind of cool.
And then around on this side, there are some workspaces that you can use. I think that these are just first come, first serve.
And then more open little workspaces as well.
Fun fact about the building that the leasing agent talked to us about is that all the plants in the building are real. So that's cool.
That's pretty wild.
And then these conference rooms can be rented out, or they're first come, first serve. And I just really thought that this lounge area was very pretty. It's like giving 1920s, but modern. I don't know, I really liked it. Loved the lamp light fixture, so I just wanted a close-up of that. And around the side of this 7th floor, this is actually the game room, which is, I think they've done a really good job of it. There's a pool table, there's a poker table, there's just a bunch of games set out, and then another really large lounge section. You can rent out the space. I'm just not sure how much per hour it would be, but you would rent out this full space, so it's probably going to be a little expensive.
And then on the other side of this is where they're actually building a saltwater pool, which is wild. I don't know how you're going to ensure that the salt level is correct, but that's their thing. Kind of cool. We don't know what the size is. Again, that's under construction, and they expect it to, I think, open up in February or so. But as with all construction, it can take a little longer.
And then we did see the wine bar, which is just an extension of that lounge. So that was the level 7 amenities. What we didn't get to see, because it's still under full construction, is the rooftop amenities. And I'll insert some pictures here from the website, and I'll leave a link to the website so you can see like the full renderings of what they think that the rooftop amenities level will be. But really, it's going to be another full-sized kitchen, a space probably that you can reserve. There will be a lounge space, there will be outdoor space for grilling, for hanging out, there will be fire pits. So look forward to that. We're not sure exactly how it's going to turn out. If this space is any, indication, I'm sure that the top will also be just as beautiful.
Honestly, the Lindley was just such a pretty building in general, and just so well designed throughout, from the lobby, the front lobby area all the way up to this amenities floor. To your point, I think the top floor is going to look amazing as well.
So a couple other notes: they are offering AT&T fiber internet, so that's great. Our leasing agent also told us that there was only drywall between the apartments, like across the floor, which is not the best thing. If that's true, we actually need cement to be between apartments for us to really consider an apartment building. I find that hard to believe, because I feel like a lot of the newer high-rises have to have cement or like steel between the apartments, so we may want to fact check here. But if it's just drywall, I mean, you will be able to hear your neighbors.
Everything.
Yeah, you'll be able to hear everything across the apartment. So I would definitely say double check this if you're looking at the Lindley. We will be double checking as well, because I just find it hard to believe.
I mean, outside of that, we would just not be able to move into something like that. I cannot control the volume of my voice, and I don't think we'd be allowed to live there long. Beyond that, actually recapping on the water situation, here at the Diego, because we don't have filtered water throughout the building, we actually have to have 2 filters on our shower head, and which we replace almost every month and a half to get rid of the hard water. It caused eczema in my skin for like the first 3 months that we were living here, and we didn't know what was going on. I saw several dermatologists until I went back to Michigan for 2 weeks, and it went away.
And we also drink out of Brita filters. We don't drink from the sink. I mean, we hate the taste of the water here in California. Again, coming from the Great Lakes state where the water was just like so much tastier, especially in Metro Detroit. Yeah, the water being completely filtered at the Lindley is a huge pro for us.
Absolutely.
Another big pro about the Lindley apartments is that they have balconies on every single floor plan, which is fantastic. Not every luxury high-rise has that. I also think that its proximity to Little Italy is a huge factor in why I think a lot of people are planning on moving to the Lindley. The fact that it's just 3 blocks away, I mean, you can go to the Saturday morning farmers markets so easily. Little Italy is such like a bustling area of downtown. It's relatively safe, I would say. There's just a lot of restaurants, a lot of bars, and it's just a great place to be when you're like a young adult that lives in downtown. I think a lot of people just go to Little Italy to hang out. So being that close, it's fantastic. I also think they did a great job with the interiors. Like we mentioned, the storage in every single apartment is ridiculous. I am obsessed with the amount of storage they've put in there. They did it right.
Beyond that, I don't think we can say much more positive things about the Lindley. It's honestly probably the best apartment building in downtown San Diego.
I fully agree. I think it's my number one by far. Again, caveat being that hopefully they have cement between the apartments.
Right, because I think that would rocket it down to not like the last.
Yeah, if they didn't do that, that would be really bad, but I have a feeling they do. So with that caveat, it is my number one spot, like by far in all of downtown. So I know you were waiting till the end to hear whether we were moving because our lease is coming up. We are unfortunately not moving to the Lindley this coming year. We are re-signing at the Diego. Maybe the Lindley is to follow shortly, but some of the prices at some of these apartment buildings, including the Lindley, I mean, they are definitely higher than what we're paying at the Diego right now. And the prices of the Lindley might be worth it. I think that maybe in the next year or two, just like what we mentioned with the West, they might be lowering it just a little bit. I have a feeling they may.
I honestly think right now, in terms of pricing for the Lindley, the other big issue in my mind is that, like, I would say 55% of the amenities aren't available to you. Like, the entire rooftop's not yet built, the pool is not there. And so the justification of that very high rent and not having those amenities at the moment does not really make sense to me. In comparison to some of these other luxury apartments that are at relatively the same price, have very similar amenities, but the amenities are there.
That's fair. I think I would still pick Lindley over a lot of those apartments because the apartment itself, which is where I would be spending 99.9% of my time, is just far nicer than any other apartment that we've seen. So at the end of the day, I'm hoping the prices come down, but you never know. So I hope you are as excited about the Lindley as we are, and I hope you found our tour useful. Please let me know what other apartment buildings you want us to tour in the comments down below. Don't forget to subscribe for more San Diego living, apartment living, interior decorating, and I will see you guys next time.
Take care, y'all.